HOA Karen drained my private lake, so I redirected water and flooded her fancy backyard. Tom stared at the cracked lake bed, his heart sinking as the last puddle of water evaporated under the summer sun. This lake, nestled behind his modest cabin, had been his sanctuary for decades, a place where he fished with his late father, where dragonflies danced, and where silence healed. Now, it was a barren scar, drained overnight by his neighbor, Karen, the HOA president with a vendetta against anything that didn't fit her vision of perfection. Karen's sprawling mansion loomed across the property line, its manicured lawn and infinity pool mocking Tom's loss. She diverted his lake's water to irrigate her estate, claiming the lake was an eyesore, and her landscaping needed it more. The HOA backed her, citing vague bylaws, and the local council turned a blind eye, swayed by her donations. Tom, a retired mechanic living on a fixed income, had no lawyer to fight her, but he had resolve. For weeks, he studied the land's drainage patterns, old maps, and water flow records. Late at night, under the cover of darkness, he dug trenches and redirected an upstream creek that fed his lake. He didn't plan to flood Karen's backyard, not at first. He just wanted his water back. But when heavy rains hit, the creek surged, and his makeshift channels funneled a torrent straight into Karen's pristine estate. Her pool overflowed, her rose garden drowned, and muddy water lapped at her glass patio doors. The next morning, Karen stormed to the lakebed, her heels sinking into the mud. "You sabotaged me," she shrieked, pointing a manicured nail at Tom. "You'll pay for every cent of this." Tom gripped his shovel, his voice low but shaking. "You stole my lake, Karen. You think your money makes you untouchable? Nature doesn't care about your HOA." Their shouts echoed, drawing neighbors who whispered from a distance. Karen's entitlement clashed with Tom's quiet rage, each word sharpening the divide. She threatened lawsuits. He countered with years of her HOA bullying fines for his unpainted fence, complaints about his old truck. The air shifted when Old Man Grayson, a reclusive farmer who'd lived there longer than anyone, appeared, his weathered notebook. Grayson raised a hand, his voice gravelly. "I've watched this land for 50 years. Karen, you've been siphoning water from streams feeding my farm too. I got records. You didn't just rob Tomiuri, drying all of us." He held up the notebook, pages filled with meticulous water-level notes. The crowd gasped, their murmurs turning to outrage. Karen's face drained of color, her authority crumbling under the weight of Grayson's quiet evidence. The twist hit Tom hardest. He'd thought he was alone in this fight, but Grayson's words reframed it. This wasn't just his lake, it was a shared lifeline. Guilt gnawed at him. His flood had hurt Karen, yes, but it also damaged neighboring yards, including Grayson's crops. Vengeance had blinded him to collateral damage. Karen, cornered, tried to deflect. "This is about property values. I'm protecting the community." But the neighbors, emboldened by Grayson's revelation, demanded she restore the streams. She retreated, promising to consult her lawyers. But her voice lacked conviction. Days later, Tom stood by the lakebed, now slowly refilling as the creek flowed again. Karen's backyard was a muddy ruin, her mansion's sale pending as she prepared to move. But the victory felt hollow. Tom's lake was returning, but the community was fractured. Some thanked him. Others resented the flood's chaos. Grayson, tending his soggy fields, offered Tom a nod, but his eyes held a quiet disappointment. Tom, staring at the water's faint ripple, realized revenge hadn't healed him. It had only deepened the scars off the land, his neighbors, and his own conscience. He'd won the battle, but at what cost? What do you think, was Tom's act of vengeance justified? Or did he go too far in seeking justice against Karen's greed?